because it was technically something coercion. I think it was. Actually, I think they called it. I think she actually just got homicide. I think they gave it. That was like the charge.
Oh, that was disgusting what she did. I want to ask you before we get started on this conversation. Could you, you ran yesterday. Could you do better to try to have equitable dialogue, meaning
Sure.
taking
Yes.
like responding and going one at a time as much as we can possibly. And I will be respectful as long as you're respectful. But just please try to adhere to the way KB and myself like to run these lives. That is all right. It's right there in the name. Hush.
Yes.
Okay. And I joke a lot, so don't. You can take a joke, I'm sure.
That's why the name's there, so I get reminded sometimes.
You need your little crew. I said, come on, Sesame Street. What is Cody talking about? Anybody know?
No idea.
Okay, I just got elevated. I just try to make sure. Okay, Cats. What can we call you?
Cats is fine. You can call me Sarah too. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so go ahead, sir.
So I have a question. Have you guys ever seen the Whatever podcast?
No, I'm gonna give it a look at. Is it one of those red pill or like just?
Well, I mean, it's a dating podcast, and it is. I think it's more right leaning, but recently, a social media person named was it Patriot Barbie, who actually met with Donald Trump, attended the Whatever podcast, and usually these podcasts last about like 5, 6, 7 hours. So when women or whoever sign up for this, they should be well aware of it, because usually they sign up months before whatever episode they're actually filming, and they actually have to go to Santa Barbara or wherever it is in California to attend this podcast. And I find it interesting that now all these women want to try to shut down this show because they don't agree with the way it's run from the people who are like Brian, who is the podcast. He is the podcast. It's his podcast.
Is this that Fresh and Fit guys? Is this
No.
who this is? Oh, okay. I don't know really any of that stuff.
The Whatever podcast. It's on Twitch. It's on YouTube. And I encourage people to check it out. The only reason I ask is because you were just saying how you want people to adhere to the way you run your podcast or your whatever on this platform. But would you agree that in the same token, somebody else should be able to run their podcast the way that they want to run it without threat of being shut down?
I mean, sure, but what is so? I mean, so do you like this podcast or don't like this podcast? I can't tell.
I don't know. I just joined it, so I see, why do men feel entitled to women?
The whatever podcast.
I do. Personally, I do. I agree with a lot of the points that are made on there. Yes.
And it's a dating podcast, and the hosts.
It's
are
a
men or
debating
women?
podcast. The hosts are men.
Well, I mean, I would.
Hold on, just 1 second. Hey, Hush. Look at her bio.
Do I have to? Do we still? Okay, hang on. What is it? I'm a beautiful cat who identifies. I don't know what it
I'm about to be discriminated against now. Lovely.
Oh gosh.
She's hella transphobic, is what I'm pointing out.
Oh gosh.
Well, I'm not scared of anybody.
Hold on. Nobody said you were scared.
Well, that's what a phobia is an irrational fear or something.
Remember we were talking about
irrational, what's the word? Maybe.
It's adversion, but remember what we were talking about, the women that uphold the patriarchy and uphold these systems.
Mm-hmm. And this would be one of them.
And what's wrong with that? What is wrong with the patriarchy?
Look, you even got hushed.
But you won't even look into it for yourselves. You won't even look and see.
We've lived it. What are you talking about?
What do you mean you've lived it? How so?
We've all you live in it and you must like it, but we've lived it. What are you talking about? How
Well,
so?
I did. I lived in definitely like a more feminist upbringing and everything else, and now I'm a housewife, and I'm much more happier being a housewife than I ever was in the working force.
talking about on the whole, this whole system. Women live in a patriarchal society. We all do, whether we choose
But we're all
to oppose
human
or fight
beings.
against it.
We're all human beings, are we not? Whether you're a man or a woman, you're a human being.
Sure.
So-
Remember Animal Farm, the book Animal Farm? Some animals are more equal.
I always
than
bring that one up.
Well, I mean, we're not animals. I mean, we're mammals. But
It's
we're
a-
not on the
it's a
same
metaphor.
level. Like, I have cats, I have a lizard, I have a guinea pig, I have chickens,
It's a book.
but I am not an animal. I can
know
use
that.
tools and
It's about
create
the moral of
things.
the hey, cat, calm down.
Cats, do you read books?
I do. I read 1984.
That's a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
A book.
I read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I've read quite a few different books. But I don't know specifically what you're asking me here.
Right.
Are you saying
so
that
when you
I'm
read a book-
unintelligent?
No, if you won't be quiet.
All
Stay
right.
here.
All right. Well, this is a fascinating conversation. I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you for joining, Cats. This has been you brought a lot of depth to this conversation so far. A lot of interesting points. I still have not looked up that podcast you talked about, but I'm looking forward.
I've seen clips of it. I have seen clips of it.
Oh, wait, it's this lady. Oh, you're the craziest person on TikTok.
Oh, I am very crazy.
Oh, damn.
Could we boot her? She makes me uncomfortable.
Why do you want to boot me? Because you
Yeah.
feel something?
Try not to boot people
Yes.
unless they're outright.
Look,
Unless
look, we're twins. We're twins. We have the same hair color.
No.
We're twinsies.
twins. Not with KB.
I think you
Oh,
grew
you
up
could
in a
never.
house with lead paint.
Did you, KB?
Maybe.
Maybe.
KB. She just tried to say she was your twin.
Well, you guys.
No,
I mean,
she's
why?
white
Why
womaning,
the
y'all.
insults?
Hold on.
Why
one
the
second,
insults?
Kat. Hold on,
You
Kat, hold on.
insulted
Have I
you.
insulted
Because
you?
because I'm
No,
trying,
because
trying to
Hold on,
Okay.
John. Hold on one second, and I just need to
spread
address
my
this
drink.
real quick. I just need to address this real quick. One, she's white womaning. Hush. As a BIPOC man, I will tell you that she's white. I could not. I don't have to tell you. She's trying to white woman. She's trying to trigger and
We don't
be
let-
inflammatory.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to have an open, honest discussion. Why can't we have
Well,
that?
the fact you came in here with your bio and how you do that, it's you don't
It's
ever
my
enter
bio.
a conversation in a you don't ever open a conversation
stayed
in
quiet.
a genuine manner.
But you aren't staying quiet right now. The host is speaking. Let her finish.
Well, I
her
mean, I'm
sentence.
just saying.
But honestly,
I'm
wait,
asking.
hold on,
Honestly,
wait a
I'm
minute, though.
recording
For
this
real,
whole
hush.
thing.
Does she make you uncomfortable? Because if she is, I will.
I'm
remove her.
recording this whole thing. Why do your feelings mean
fine.
more to
Right,
other people
right.
than?
She's like
Go
the
ahead,
female
Ryan.
Greg. I don't know if you guys know Greg. This is the
Oh
woman
yes.
equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. Oh
Woman
yes.
equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, but if you are, we.
Yeah.
Says
Make
why
Greg
do
a
Don't
woman.
fucking
There you go.
Greg.
entitled to
Here she
women?
is.
Because
No
I'm
one
trying to
says as
spread
much
this
and so little
gene.
as her.
Just say.
I'm trying to spread this gene. That's why I feel entitled